We're with head coach and general manager Derek Lalonde. The Green Bay Gamblers suffered 2 overtime losses this past weekend, however, did get 2 points on the weekend. Let's first talk, Derek, about that Dubuque game. I want to say that there were a lot of turnovers on both sides, which led to some good opportunities.
Yeah, not a well-played game on both sides. I think the 2-2 tie going right down to the last shooter in the shootout was fitting. I think both teams were probably disappointed in overall play at times and excited with their overall play at times. And we certainly felt that way. I like the fact that we had some energy early, scored first. I like the fact that when they got 2 goals, we turned around and scored immediately right after to tie the game. Played a great third period. Was very good into overtime. And when it comes down to a shootout, you're at the mercy of some luck, some puck luck, and we had some momentum. We scored first, and it was on our stick to win it in the end. It just didn't happen. So a good point overall, but certainly felt like we had a chance to get those 2. Felt probably could have had a little better fate.
Talk about that Dubuque team. They're coming hot off a 4-1 win over the Tri-City Storm. They look pretty good. I mean, they look like a team that I thought could be having a down year, but they looked pretty impressive this last weekend.
No, they did it good. I don't foresee the way they run their operations there from their hockey operations down. I don't see many down years in Dubuque. It's a great organization, and they did a really good job in filling their holes with a lot of older players. And we played an older team that defended well. It was hard to penetrate offensively, and it was a good hockey game. And I like where they're at. That's a team that we have to reel in. You know, they're older, they're a little more mature, and we need to get there. And we are taking strides. And I like the fact that we played right with them. That's a team hopefully we're going to catch in time.
Now, you said this time and time again that you're going to leave your goaltenders, your young goaltenders, out high and dry. Sometimes it was a back-and-forth game, the Dubuque Fighting Saints. We're here on Friday night. It was back and forth. They got their opportunities. How do you think Richard Sabol fared when it came down to odd man rushes and stuff?
I thought Richard was excellent, and he got us that point. He gave us a chance. Again, just with our young D, especially early on, we have some big blow-ups. And we could have 7, 8, 9 minutes of some great hockey, and then we have a mistake. It's a breakaway. It's a 2-on-1. It's an odd man rush. Richard played great, and he gave us a chance to route and got us that point.
Now, is that indicative? You talk about our D-core kind of struggling a little bit. Is that indicative of the youth on this team?
100% youth. The good thing with their struggles, it's easy correctable stuff. The speed of the game, it's awareness out there. It's a big jump from these guys from high school hockey, from midget hockey, and you can see really good things in their play in a lot of our young D. But then you can see the mistakes, and the mistakes on D are very costly, and that's been the case early on.
Let's talk about the Chicago team, and that Chicago team from the end of last year to this year really starting to put it together. They got some good veterans like Joel Benson on that team. You go into Chicago, you grab an early lead. They come right back. Talk a little bit about that game.
Another good hockey game. Again, could have went either way. They score a overtime goal, 17 seconds left on a defensive mistake. And again, our defensive mistakes are very costly, especially early on. But on a whole, really happy with the game because it was the best our forwards as a group. We generated 44 shots. It was the kind of hockey we saw a lot of last year, where our forwards were tough to play against. They were generating offense, they were spending time with the puck. So it was real positive that we got a real good play out of our forwards. And again, if we're going to be successful this year, it's going to be from our forwards, and that's going to be the strength of our team. So it's a good sign to see that. Again, we showed some of our immaturity. We blew a third period lead where we had a lead and we took a bad penalty. They scored on the power play, and then they scored immediately after. And again, that's a sign of an immature team that didn't handle the emotions of losing that lead. But the real good sign is we hung in there and we scored late to tie it. And then we just made a big mistake in overtime, which cost us the 2 points. But again, a productive game in some areas. The 1 point is going to be valuable early on. And, we've said all along as a staff in closed doors, points early on, the first 6, 8 games are going to be important when we think we can kind of hit our stride after that.
Talk a little bit about the state of the goaltending between the pipes for this team. We saw Richard Sabol playing on Friday, then Cam Hackett played on Saturday. Is Mike Rotolo injured, and where do you see the goaltending going so far?
No, Mike's going to play on Friday. Mike's been fine. I'm really happy with him in practice. He was solid in his first performance in Cedar Rapids. Cam Hackett's the future of our organization. He's a 96th birthday. He's a very, very special talent. And we're going to assure him some games as an affiliate player, not just happen to be one of them, something that was preset in the summer, and he played excellent for us. So goaltending on a whole, we're well over 90%. We're happy where the goaltending is. Where this team is with the young defense and still maturing, it's got to be our best position. So they're going to strive to be better than where they're at. And on a whole, I'm really happy with their goaltending is at, and I think it'll continue this weekend.
What do you think about this team offensively and the chances that you guys are generating? Are they good opportunities? And what are your thoughts overall offensively?
On a whole, in the first 4 games, it hasn't been great. But again, on Saturday, we saw some of that, and we can't be easy to play against. Teams know when they play us, they're going to be very good defensively through the middle of the ice. They're going to be very good defensively, funneling back to the scoring area, very tight in their defensive zone. And we got to adjust and learn how to play with that. We got to spend time with the puck. We got to get puck behind their D, force their D to defend us and be hard to play against. And I think we're finally figuring that out a little bit because we saw some of that Saturday. So it was a stride forward in that area, and we hope it continues.
From up where I'm at in Radio Row, and I just cover the game. I'm not a coach, but from what I could understand, there were some flashes of some good offensive opportunities with Nick Schmaltz, Kyle Novak, working the backdoor pass and stuff like that, just not connecting. So you feel like they're starting to put it together a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to take some time. It's a work in progress. And again, Nick is one of the youngest players in this league. He's an offensive talent. But it's hard to adjust to this league. It's bigger, it's stronger. And I think a lot of our newcomers are adjusting to that. And again, I think it still comes down to our returning guys that had success in this league last year. That they got to do more, and I think they want to do more. We saw a little of that Saturday, and that was a good trend going forward.
And for some of the younger guys, 0-2-2 is not the way you want to start out in any league, especially the USHL. How has their mood been? Have they kept good spirits about it? And how have you guys adjusted coaching to really drive home, hey, it's a 64-game season, and points do matter early, but really it's not the end of the world if you're 0-2-2 at this point?
We knew these first 8-10 games was going to be a grind. Yes, we're playing very good teams in the first 8-10 games with Cedar Rapids and Waterloo and Chicago and Dubuque, but it's experienced good teams. And we knew that was going to be a tough matchup for us. So we've concentrated on our effort level, which has been very good. And then we'll continually get better with some of these mistakes that are magnified against very good teams. So I think on a whole, pretty good. I know when guys come here, there's such a culture of success. They want it instantly, but something this year we're going to have to go earn, and I think we will.
All right, thanks, Coach.